Yes, my people, it is your boy VRD, and I must say, it does feel good to be back. It really does feel good to be back. And yes, finally, Train Sim World 6 is indeed here, along with the beautiful class 220 Voyager cross country. And I must say, this train has been modeled brilliantly. The modeling on this is top notch. It's a gorgeous train. I must say, it's a really gorgeous train. I don't normally do these type of exterior shots, but in this case I had to make an exception because wow, look at that. But yeah, regarding the my absence, I've just been going through some personal stuff, but I'm kind of hoping that I'm on the other side of that now. So from here onwards, the content should be a lot more frequent and slightly higher quality as well. I do want to up the quality of my uploads because that is most certainly what will be bringing in the new viewers and the new subscribers and whatnot. So yeah, in today's video, I'm just going to be taking a look at the Class 220 Voyager and just taking it for a quick spin along the Riviera line. I have taken it for a bit of a drive before this recording, and I did stumble across a bit of a glitch with the cab door, but I'm going to talk about that as we get into the video. I believe it was the GWR Class 802 that also got released with Train Sim World 6, so I'm most certainly going to be taking a look at that after this as well. Probably not in the same video, but the second video I upload will definitely be in the Class 802 because that is also a new train. And I might do a quick run on the Class 150, but I'm not particularly too excited about that, to be honest. So the Class 220 and the Class 802 are going to be my priority. So yeah, I'm just going to go quiet now and I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of these shots that I've recorded. Right, so here we are spawned in at, I was about to say Manchester Piccadilly. This is definitely not Manchester Piccadilly. This is Exeter St. David's. So we're spawned in at Exeter St. David's station. Let me just ensure that I am recording. Yep, I do seem to be recording. Yeah, you can see I've got the weather kind of set to how it is in real life. It isn't raining too much at the moment, but yeah, the weather is kind of synced up with real life. The time isn't really synced up with real life. I think the time's about an hour and a half ahead, but yeah, who cares, man? Who cares? So we're gonna begin by activating the relevant safety systems. So the vigilance, driver safety device. This train's a bit weird. Hold on. So vigilance, driver safety device. Oh yeah, automatic warning system, train protection and warning system, and then the other train protection and warning system switch. So to put it simply, every switch on this panel needs to be in the vertical position, and then this one here, or right in the top right corner, you just flick that into the normal position, and then it will spring load back to the center position. You don't need to touch the MCB panel. So we are going to now insert the master key, turn the, sorry, my window is wide open and a car's driving past. Anyway, insert the master key and turn the F and R switch into neutral, then acknowledge the AWS self-test sequence, just like that. And then we're going to get the doors open. Right, so when setting up most trains, you want to just start from the left and work your way around in a clockwise kind of routine. So nothing really to do over here. First thing you want to do is turn on the headlights. Just going to turn that into the day running configuration, and we will pop outside very shortly just to look at those and ensure that they are being displayed correctly. Although I can't go through the cab door like I previously stated, because there's a bug on this train where once you open the cab door, you're not going to be able to release the brakes, and I do hope that gets fixed as soon as possible. The fact that Train Sim World 6 has been out for over 2 weeks, and it's nearly been 2 weeks. No, I'm sure it's been 2 weeks. Yeah, the fact the game's been out for this long and the bug hasn't been patched yet is a bit pathetic in my opinion, but whatever, man. We're gonna look past that, and that will be the only time I speak on that. I'm a bit paranoid to try to do a static brake test, but I guess we can. And in fact, we can't even we can't even reduce the braking force at the moment because the doors are open. So yeah, we'll forget about the static brake test for now. We'll do a running brake test after we depart. We're gonna set our driver reminder appliance. I should have done that before I even switched on the cab, but that's my bad. Wipers. Where's the wiper switch? There it is. Sorry, my controller's a bit sensitive. Uh, GSMR is already set. One Victor 47. And that is I don't really have any complaints regarding that because we are technically picking this service up from a different driver, so the GSMR in theory would already be set, I think. So we are going to run a bit late on this, but you know, when it is the first look of any train, I tend to take my time and proper go through everything. So yeah, I'm not going to be too fussed about the timetable or anything like that. But yeah, I believe that is the cab setup complete. Let's just have a look at our cooling pattern. Dawlish, Tainmouth, Newton, Abbott, Torquay, and finally Paynton. So it's about what is that? 90 minutes? No, wait. It's 12. Oh gosh, I'm embarrassing myself. It's 12:30 now. Arrival at Paynton, 13:07. Is it just me or does that seem extremely quick? That is ridiculously quick. What? Arrival at Paynton, 13:07. Okay, if you say so. So I was a bit confused. You're telling me it's like a 40-minute drive. I thought it would have been a bit longer than that. Okay. Right, so we are gonna get the doors closed. I should have checked the signal aspect, although I did already see it subconsciously and I saw it was displaying a green aspect, so that's why I closed the doors there. But it is important to call stuff like that out, just for some of you guys that are new to the railway scene. It will just help you guys understand some of the procedures that we do have in place here. So
the next station is Dawlish. This is a cross-country service to Paynton.
Yeah, driver reminder appliance cannot be reset because we do have the green signal, and I believe that is us ready to depart. So next station is Dawlish in 11 miles. Selecting forward, you can hear the engines rev up as we go into forward, which is a bit unique. I don't know too many trains that actually do that. Gonna hold in the whole start button, release the brakes. You can see we've got the reading of 2 bar on the brake cylinder gauge, so I'm gonna take 1 notch of power, wait for a couple of seconds and release the whole start button, and yep, brake cylinder gauge reading falls to 0 and train begins to move. Gonna up the power to notch 2. And it's obviously raining a bit, so I'm not gonna give it too much power too early because I don't want the wheels to start spinning or anything like that. Speed limit departing from Exeter to St David's is 30 miles an hour, going up to 75 in 350 yards. It's a bit sluggish coming out of here, but we are going uphill. We're on a upwards 1 in 200, so yeah, it's a bit slow coming out of here. But I don't want to give it too much power just yet. Just sip my coffee. Right, so I'm now cutting the power back to notch 1 of power because we are approaching 30 miles an hour. 30 miles an hour is where I'm going to perform the running brake test. Alright, 27 miles an hour, close enough. I can't be bothered to wait. So shutting off the power, 60% brake application, observing the speed fall by 10 miles an hour, and releasing the brakes, and back into the power range. So running brake test is successful and complete. Speed limit is now 75 miles an hour. Dawlish station is in 10 miles. So we are going to be driving along what is known as the Dawlish seawall very soon. It's one of the most iconic places in the UK railway scene, and you're going to see why. I'm not even going to spoil it, but it is a very iconic location. I'm going to up it to full power as well, just have a quick look around the cab, just ensure we got no indications flashing at us to tell us that our wheels are spinning. I don't think that is the case, so we're all good. Yeah, in wet conditions and stuff like that, I reckon from 30 miles an hour upwards, you're 9 times out of 10 you're going to be safe to go into full power. Just reducing the power down to notch 2 as we get closer to 75 miles an hour, and in fact I'm going to shut that off completely because we are going downhill. Although speed limit goes up to 100 miles an hour here. And of course, when you have an increase in the speed limit, the full length of your train needs to be clear of the speed board before you accelerate up to the new speed. But this train's only 4 carriages long, right? Yeah, 4 carriages long, so that's not going to take us too long at all, especially at speed like 75. We're passing through a station that I don't know the name of, but once I do a couple of class 150 runs, I'm sure the geography will start picking up. Based off of the practice run that I did off camera, this doesn't seem like too difficult of a route to learn HUD-Less. And I know I do say that about every new route that I'm reviewing, but this particular route, it doesn't seem too challenging to learn at all. So yeah, and it's a nice long route. It splits into 2 at Newton Abbot, so it's not a back and forth kind of thing. There's a bit more variety with the services. So yeah, I could potentially frequent this route a lot in the upcoming videos. Who knows? I'm gonna up it to notch 3 right now. So because I'm not familiar with the gradients on this route, I'm being a bit more cautious when it comes to maintaining speed. Like I don't want to go too close to the speed limit because I don't want to stumble across a sudden downward gradient and then end up speeding or needing to apply the brakes or anything like that. Yeah, once my route knowledge does improve, then I'll probably be able to drive a bit more confidently because I'm gonna know where the gradients are. But right now I'm not at that level yet. Right, we got a reduction in the speed limit down to 75 miles an hour in 1.5 miles. So I'm probably just going to shut off the power from now and allow gravity to bring us down a bit. And I'll probably make a light brake application to do the rest as we get closer to the 75 limit. So there's our morph board there for the 75 limit. The upside down triangle with the yellow border. I'm gonna make a light brake application now, maybe up it to about 50% or so momentarily. Yeah, now I'm gonna reduce that back down to the minimal brake application position and down to 75 just in time. I'm gonna no, we are going uphill, so I'm gonna release the brakes now. If we were going downhill, I probably would have brought it down to about 72 or something. I mean, I brought it down to 72 anyway, but yeah. Alright, gonna give it 2 notches of power. We appear to be traversing level terrain at the moment. And here we are at the beginning of the Dawlish seawall that I was talking about. So yeah, it's a very interesting location. You're more or less driving against the ocean for about 10 miles. It must be quite spectacular to see in real life. I've never been down here. I've only seen pictures of it and videos of it, and it does look quite. It looks quite unique. It does look quite unique. And I need to be very careful not to accidentally overshoot Dawlish Station as well, because that's gonna. The video is going quite well, and I don't want it to be ruined by something as stupid as that. So yeah, I'm gonna try to focus. We're 3.5 miles out, so we still got quite a way to go. But at 75 miles an hour, 3.5 miles will go by quite quickly. So yeah, gonna keep the guard up a bit. You know, I should probably take that spoon out out of my mug, and then it won't make so much noise when I'm taking sips. Yeah, just rest that there. Right, increasing the speed limit up to 80 miles an hour. So we're gonna give it an additional notch of power. So we're gonna sit in notch 3, and that should allow us to slowly creep up towards 80. But then we've got a reduction down to 70 miles an hour anyway. So yeah, there's a lot of pointless speed limit changes on this. Like it's weird. Like alright, let's cut back on the power from now. You'll be in a random fault. The diesel engine has failed. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about that. So Train Sim World 6 is the first Train Sim World game to feature random faults and random events such as temporary speed restrictions and stuff like that. I need to pay attention. We're doing 76, speed limit goes down to 70. So just give it a light tap on the brakes as we get a bit closer to that. Yeah, random faults and random events. The all new feature to be added to Train Sim Mode 6, and I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. Anything to spice up the driving experience, obviously. Honestly. I'm trying to multitask, allow me. Oh, right, we're getting closer to Dawlish. Speed limit goes up to 75 at the end of this right hand bend here. Right, we're only doing 70 miles an hour, so at this signal here, I'm gonna make my 60% brake application for Dawlish Station, and I'll reduce or increase that when I see necessary. So 50. Yeah, I'm gonna reduce that to a minimal brake application for now, just until we get a bit closer to the platform. The windshield wiper is stuck. I'm gonna I forgot to do this. I forgot to do this at the end of my previous run along this route, but I need to.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when stepping down from the train.
Yeah, the announcements are quite nice as well, but I need to turn down the random fault probability, because I feel like it's a bit too forced right now. I thought I'd be okay to leave it on medium, but no, medium seems a bit too excessive. Like this, what I'm experiencing now, this seems like what I would get if I had it set to high. I think this doesn't really seem like medium, to be honest. Although I could be wrong. Maybe trains, maybe the trains are really dodgy in reality. Who knows? But I don't know. It just seems a bit too excessive. Anyway, we're looking out for the 4 carriage stop board, which I don't see. So we're just gonna take her right up to the end of the platform. Uh, yeah, I see the 5 carriage stop board, but not the 4 carriage stop board. Do you plan on stopping? Hello, hello. Yeah, the brakes on this aren't that good. I mean, they're okay slowing down from high speeds, but when you're coming up to the stopping position, it's like the brakes just give up. And what I actually forgot to do was go into the external view and check the headlights. So I'm gonna do that now. There we are. So I was just getting a thumbnail as well. But yeah, the headlights are indeed being displayed correctly. And we're about 4 minutes late, which isn't too good. Right, no platform starter signal, but previous signal was a green aspect because I can remember. But the AWS sunflower being blank is also another way to determine that, in case you don't actually remember the aspects of the previous signal. And I need to fix the windscreen wiper, don't I? There we go. We have interlock, into forward. No need for the whole start button this time. We are on level terrain. So straight into notch 2.
This is a cross-country service to Hayton.
Next station is Teignmouth. Really sluggish coming out of here. And also, I don't know why the windscreen wiper is not windscreen wipering. Hello? Hello? Well, the windscreen wiper's dead. Oh dear. Speed limit is 60 now as well. I don't remember. I don't remember when that happened, but yeah, speed limit is now 60, which means I need to cut back on the power now. Alright. Teignmouth, however that place is pronounced, is in 1.9 miles. So we are gonna once again keep our guard up and just anticipate the breaking point. And I believe this is the end of the whole Dawlish seawall thing, the Dawlish seawall stretch. So yeah, it's about 10 miles along there. We're now going downhill, so I'm gonna shut the power off. It looked like we were about to have a head-on collision there. That actually, even though this is a real, that actually scared me. If I saw that in real life, that probably, I think my heart would sink. I think the fact we were going around the right-hand bend, it just made it look like I was on the same track as that sprinter just done. Alright, speed limit 75. 1.1 miles until Teignmouth, so I don't really fancy accelerating. There's just no point. Bad fuel economy. Alright, so I should be able to get away with leaving the brake in a bit later, because we are going a bit slower than we were on the approach to Dawlish. So I'm gonna get the 50% brake application in from now. I just reduced that down to minimal. And it's got one of those pretend platforms. It's like an abandoned section of the platform, so you'd think that you're closer to the station than you actually are. Let's give it some serious braking now, because I don't want to be entering the platform too fast here. 2 to 3, so that must be 4 to 5 carriage stopping position coming up here. Yeah, for some reason in this train, 50% braking force, or below 10 miles an hour, 50% of the train's braking force seems to, it feels like 33%. I don't know, 25 or 33%, and it's a bit strange. I'm not sure why. Yeah. What is your problem? It's ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, this train didn't pass its MOT. 4 minutes late, still green signal. Is there like an MCB that I can hold on with? No, we can't interact with any of the MCBs. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what. It's a bit irritating having to drive without a windscreen wiper. Like you'd think.
The next station is Newton Abbot. This is a cross-country service to Paignton.
Yeah, I think this train is a bit buggy, to be honest. I think it might be because I think someone's messed up with the coding when it comes to the random faults. So I think that's why we've got this cab door bug and the windscreen wiper bug and all that. I don't think it's been coded correctly, but yeah, it seems to be easily fixable. So I don't know why it hasn't been fixed yet. I know I said I wouldn't talk about it anymore, but come on, man. Anyway, next station is Newton Abbot, where the line splits into 2 parts. So we're going to be diverging to the left, and that will take us down to Paignton. I believe if you are carrying on straight or going to the right, it would take you to Exmouth. Not Exmouth, no, not Exmouth. Plymouth, that's it, Plymouth. Speed limit is 60 miles an hour. I haven't even been keeping track of the speed limits, to be honest, because there's just been so many changes, so many unnecessary changes. So it's just, yeah, it gets a bit irritating sometimes. But it's increasing up to 80 miles an hour in 720 yards. Newton Abbot is in 4.3 miles. And unfortunately, driving along here, you're not really going to get any faster than 90 miles an hour, I believe. But hopefully on the section that goes down to Plymouth, we can probably stretch this thing's legs a bit more, because this train is geared to travel at 120 miles an hour. So yeah, it can be quite rapid. So I do want to hopefully get a bit of a higher speed drive in a future video. Yeah, speed limit's now 90, so we can kind of get a bit of speed on now, but not too much. And yeah, we're back next to the, it's not even the ocean, it's like a river. I need to go on Google Maps and see what river that is. I don't think it's the River Severn, I think it's something else. Alright, 85 miles an hour, so I'm just going to begin to cut back on the power. I am starving as well. Oh, my car's at the garage. Ah. I was gonna quickly pop down to Asda or something, just get myself something hefty to make, but I can't because my car's in the garage and I don't want to walk. And I most certainly won't be taking an Uber to go to Asda, because who does that? I mean, some people do. Some people do. That's not really me. Anyway, reduction, reduction in the speed limit down to 60 miles an hour, coming up in 0.9 miles. We're doing 87, so that's about 25 miles an hour that we need to shave off. So at that morph board there associated with the reduction in the speed limit, just going to give it a 40% brake application, and that should bring us down in good time. I'm going to up it to about 50. Just pull that back to minimal brake application. 65, 64, 63, 62, 61, 60, upward gradient, so we can release the brakes instantly. And there's the commencement of the 60 limit. Double yellow signal tells us that we can expect a red signal in 2 signal spacings time. So we are going to keep that in mind. We are 1 mile out from Newton Abbot. And according to the track monitor, the red signal is just before Newton Abbot station. So here's our single yellow signal. So that tells us that we have the red signal in 1 signal spacings time. So it goes double yellow, single yellow, then red. Or sometimes it will just be single yellow then red. You don't always get a double yellow, but in this case we did. So yeah, we're gonna make a serious brake application now. Sometimes you want to brake as soon as you pass the double yellow, but in this case you weren't really traveling fast enough for that. So yeah, I just got the brakes on as we were approaching the single yellow.
We are now approaching Newton Abbot. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and
you
take
can
care when stepping down from the train.
Right, so you can see there's 2 signals there. One signal is red, one signal is a single yellow with a position 1 junction indication. You can see we're on the left hand track, so common sense dictates that the signal on the left applies to us. And our signal was actually displaying a red aspect momentarily, but then it changed to what it's displaying now. It's a serious uphill coming into here. Oof. Notch 3. But I don't really want to. Actually, I don't want to be. I don't want to give it too much speed coming into here. Let's jump back on the brakes. One of the diesel engines has stalled again. Yeah, this train most certainly did not pass the MOT. Alright, just looking out for that 4 carriage stopping position. Is that it coming up there? What does that say? That's 2 to 3. So the 4 carriage one is, there it is up there. %50 braking. There we are. Perfect. Are we stopped? Yes, we are. Right. Brake step 3. Neutral. We've got a... Nope, never mind. Signal was red, but it's just changed to a green aspect with position 1 junction indication. So I was about to set the driver reminder plans, but there's no need for that anymore. Let's quickly open the doors and stop waffling before the passengers become irate. Right, we are indeed ready to get a move on from here. So get those doors closed. And my wipers are still not cooperating, and the train's just turned itself off as well. All right, come on, back to life, please. Yeah, these these faults are getting turned off.
The next station is Torquay. This is a cross-country service to Paynton.
Right, we have interlock. Final glance at the signal. Right. Next station is Torquay in 5.3 miles. Speed limit departing from Newton Abbot is 40, increasing to 60 in 0.7 miles. Just cut back on the power a bit as we get closer to 40 miles an hour. So yeah, as I was saying, Newton Abbot is where the line splits. I don't know if did we already pass the split. I think we might have already passed it, or it might be coming up now. I'm not even too sure. I think it's coming up now. Yeah, it's coming up now. So we're gonna dive off to the left, and then the tracks on the right will obviously dive off to the right. Here's the commencement of the 60 limit. We're going uphill at the moment. We're on a up 1 in 303, so it's a bit more challenging to maintain speed. But anyway, we're gonna go into full power now. So yeah, there goes the other line. '60 seems a bit slow. 60 does seem a bit slow going along here, and we've got a decrease down to 45. It doesn't go above 60. I'm sure now you can get away with 75 coming along here, man. Why is it only 60? Anyway, whatever. Fairly steep upward gradient at the moment, which is why I'm in notch 3 of power, and I'm barely able to get above 57. Although that being said, we have now touched 60, so I'm gonna bring it down to notch 1, and then I'll increase it again if the need arises. So yeah, as for my opinions on Train Sim World 6, to be honest, apart from the random faults and all that, it's basically the same game, so I don't really have anything to say on that. But as for the Class 220, very enjoyable train to drive, and it's been modeled quite nicely as well. I've got a morph board for the reduction down to 45 miles an hour, so I'm going to shut off the power. 60 and 45 are only 15 miles an hour apart, so I don't really need to brake too early. Probably going to get the brakes in at this bridge here. We are going uphill as well, so it's not going to be that difficult to slow down. In fact, I'm going to release the brakes a bit early. 47, 46. Come on, gravity, gravity, gravity. Bang on, look at that. Look at that. I told you, I'm a driver. Driver. Me say, don't stop at all. Listen, you lot ain't on. When this comes from years of experience, man. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. It takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to be able to drive the way I'm driving, man. To pull off a move like that, like what you just witnessed me do, that isn't that what just happened. I sound like the train just shut down. Yeah, to pull off something like that isn't instinctual. That needs to be hammered into your brain through repetitiveness. It's muscle memory. Here comes a class 150. I think it's a 150. It's either a 150 or a 153. I don't think it's a 156. But to be honest, I don't. these diesel trains, I can't really tell them apart because I never see them in real life. We are going downhill, so it's going to be a bit more challenging to slow down. And we've actually got a reduction in the speed limit down to 30 miles an hour, so I'm going to give it. Is that the 30 limit there? Oh boy. Apologies to the passengers because that was a that was quite a hard brake application. I didn't know the 30 limit was. I didn't know we were that close to it. I think because we were doing 45 and 30 aren't that far apart, so I got a bit too comfortable there. Right, speed limit goes back up to, what did that say? 40. I think that said 40. Yeah, 40. Torquay station is in 0.7 miles. Walkie talkie. I'm joking. I had to. Right, what's that? It looks like we're coming up on the TSR. Temporary speed restriction. So 35. So when you see the how come it's not in the track monitor?
We are now approaching Torquay. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and to take care when stepping down from the train.
Yeah, when you see that yellow square-shaped board, that means it's a temporary speed restriction. And then your standard boards with the red border, those are obviously permanent speed restrictions. So yeah, what we just passed was a warning board for the temporary speed restriction. You can tell it's a warning board because it had a kind of rectangle underneath it with two white circles. I don't know if you saw it, but just go back and watch it again. And okay, the TSR is in the track monitor. I got a bit confused, but it's because we passed the warning first. We're gonna fly right past the stopping position, aren't we? Please, please, please. I'm not used to these brakes, man. I'm an EMU guy. I'm an EMU guy.
This is Torquay, this is a cross-country service to Paignton. The next station is Paignton.
Right. Do you know what? As long as we're on the platform, it's fine. Oh, it's been an interesting drive. It has been an interesting drive. And we're still 5 minutes late. But yeah, that's just probably down to me not driving aggressively enough. I've just the physics of this train are. I'm not saying they're bad, but they are quite different and a bit strange to get used to. Right, speed limit 40, but we got the TSR of 35 miles an hour coming up. Yeah, look how slow it is moving off. Have one of my engines stalled? Wait, that's a bit sluggish. I think one of my engines have stalled. No, okay. No, the fault has been fixed. Okay, yeah, one of my engines stalled. It'd be helpful if there was an indication somewhere telling you when your engines are which engines are active, and because I'm not going to remember. How am I meant to know? Is there not meant to be something that pops up here telling you that an engine there's a dead engine or something? Anyway, right. So we're probably gonna accelerate up to 40 and then just give it a light brake application, or we'll just shut off the power and see if gravity brings us down. So yeah, let's shut off the power from now. See what happens. If gravity doesn't bring us down in time, then we'll just make a light brake application. Although we are going uphill, very steep uphill gradient. 1 in 55. Choo! Yeah, we gravity most certainly brought us down. Gravity brought us down too early. I wasn't expecting that. 1 in 55. So here's the commencement of the TSR. And then there should be another square shaped yellow board with the letter T. Yep, there it is. That tells us where the TSR ends. So quite a short TSR. Got a double yellow signal. So again, we can expect a red signal in 2 signal spacings time. Gonna give it 2 notches of power because we are going downhill and the speed limit is only 5 miles an hour quicker than what we are actually traveling at right now. In fact, I'm gonna shut the power off completely. And I'm gonna tap on the brakes just to prevent us from rolling above the speed limit by accident. Right, so next signal is just before the platform at Paignton Station, and then the following signal is on the other side of the platform, so we are cleared into Paignton Station. Beep, 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 beep. It's a bit irritating, isn't it? The vigilance device, but obviously it is there for a very good reason, and it has probably saved lives. Sorry guys, quick edit there. I don't know, I forgot what I was doing. Alright, we should probably get a bit of braking in.
We are now approaching Paignton. Please mind the gap.
We're on a downward 1 in 80, so we need to we need to we need to be a bit more cautious than we normally would, because I don't feel like going skating skating right through Paignton Station. yeah, 1 in 80 downhill is quite severe, especially in the rain. DM on the signal indication. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Does anyone know? DM. Like the suspension physics as well, going over the points. And then you got the train spotter that was on the footbridge just there. I don't know if anyone saw him. But here we are, Paynton Station, my people. Paynton Station. Let's actually try to stop accurately this time. I'm not having it. The vigilance device is a bit it's a bit faulty. It's not meant to be. If I'm engaging with the controls, it shouldn't be sounding like that. The vigilance is only meant to sound if there's no control input detected for 60 seconds. I think 60 to 90 seconds or something like that. But I'm literally engaging with the controls right now, so I don't know why I'm getting vigilance alerts. Stop. Yeah, this train's brakes are just terrible, man. Right, max braking. So I don't know what I'm doing there. Max braking, neutral, door release, no, driver reminder appliance set because we are at a red signal, and door release on the left. That's the end of our cooling pattern, right? Yes, it is. So headlights off, tail lights on, F and R switch off, master key off and removed. Windscreen wiper off, even though the windscreen wipers gave up on me like halfway through the video. Vigilance isolated, driver safety device isolated, automatic warning system isolated, train protection and warning system isolated. We'll do that one as well. Right, so that, my people, concludes the first look of the Class 220 Voyager. So I'd like to thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. Constructive feedback and criticism is more than welcome in the comment section below, and it's highly appreciated. If you'd like to further support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing. I will catch you guys in the next one. Love.